Hey, what's going on, guys? Adventures with Andrew back at you. Today we got a little bit of a different video for you guys, and today we're going to be talking about how you can make $600 or more on food delivery platforms like Doordash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, really anything. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to try to help you guys on your journey to possibly making this your full-time job. I mean, I do it every single day as my job, and it's definitely possible. You just gotta really be dedicated, and you really gotta stick to your goal. And that's the first point I kind of want to make is, number one, always have a goal. If you don't have a goal, like a money goal throughout the day, you'll just go home when you want. You won't make the best out of what you can do, is what I'm trying to say. So definitely have that goal in mind and be thinking about it constantly throughout the day, so that you're like, oh, I made my first $50. Well, there you go. My goal personally is $150 a day. So what I do is, hey, if I make 50, well, then I'm 1/3 of the way there. And that's just kind of how you have to think when you're out there, because it does get stressful. Literally driving for 8 hours, 9 hours a day, whatever. Some days less than that, but for the majority of the time, it's more than that. Or that time, 8, 9 hours. So my second point is, know what orders you're taking, because there's good orders and there's bad orders. And so you want to you'll learn as you go, as what's a good order, like what's not a lot of miles for a lot of money, and what is horrible order that's just literally like, who would take that? Like a $4 order that you're going 8 miles, like that's horrible. Never take that. Okay. And then that's just going to kind of go over the fundamentals of these apps. We're also going to be going over like the differences between DoorDash and Uber Eats, as well. Like some platforms I'm actually not on currently, like Grubhub. So I can't really give much information into that platform, but I can give you a lot of information on DoorDash as a platform and Uber Eats. And what I've realized is, at least in my market, my area, is that DoorDash is a lot better, is where they'll give me a lot more orders than Uber Eats will. And I have Uber Eats on like the same time, like pretty much all day, and I only get like 1 or 2 orders sometimes. Now don't get me wrong, the tips on Uber Eats are really good. I've realized actually that people tip more on Uber Eats, which is weird. Maybe it's just a market thing, maybe it's where I live, but that's what I've learned through, I think, what I've been doing for like 2-3 months now, completely full time. So but the main platform that I use is DoorDash. And you can definitely achieve that $600 plus just on DoorDash if you want to. You just have to be willing to grind. You literally have to be willing to be out there when no one else is working. And you're working dinner time, you're working lunchtime, you're working times where people might want to hang out with you, or you want to spend time with your family, but it's just how it works. But at the end of the day, it's going to reward you, because you are your own boss, you make your own schedule, and you can really choose how much you make every day. If you want to make $200 a day, go ahead. If you only want to make $50 a day, that's fine. If you want to make $75 one day and your goal is $150, and then you go out the next day and kill it and make $250, that's the great thing about this job. And I'm not even really going to call it a job, because it's really not. I mean, it is a job because you're working for money, but in reality is you're your own boss. It's kind of like your own job, right? And that's what I love about it so much. And the next thing I kind of want to talk about is how to decide what's a good order and what's a bad order, because that's really going to decide how much money you make throughout the day and how efficient you are, as how many hours you're out making all this money. Because that's the thing. You're your own boss. I mean, you're a contractor technically for DoorDash. You choose how much you make an hour, but you have to be smart with your decisions. To give you an example of that is, in my market, in my area, sometimes I've gotten orders like outrageous, horrible. Like, hey, this is going to give you $4 and you're going to have to travel 8 miles. Who would do that? I mean, that's not for me, right? If I want to make my 25 plus an hour, which my goal is set up for me to make that, I can't do that. That just doesn't work, right? And you have to kind of make your mindset like that, because if you just take all the orders just to get your acceptance rate up, it doesn't matter. There's only a few metrics or ratings in DoorDash that actually really, really matter. And that's your completion rate. I think it's just completion and obviously your ratings, so you want to keep good ratings. Definitely don't want no orders to ever arrive. You don't want that rating to go to 1 or 2 or 3. Never. You always make sure you get the order to the customer. But anyways, what I was talking about is, so say on one hand, I have an order, like I just said, $4 for 8 miles. That's not worth it. You're technically losing money with gas. Maybe making a little bit, maybe a few dollars. And then on the other hand, you can have an amazing order where it's like, hey, drive 1.5 miles for $8.75. Take that. That is one of the best orders. Like, that's a great order, especially if you're not in bonus. And that brings me to my next point is sometimes DoorDash, they put out bonus incentives, which is great. And it's a great way to make money fast. And it's just to kind of get more people in the area because they know they're going to be busy on that certain day or certain time. And it's great because sometimes they'll throw out a $4 bonus, a $5 bonus, a $7 bonus I've even seen. So what that means is that every order you complete in that bonus time frame, you're making an extra $5, $6, $7. And that's really going to matter down the line, especially if you have a big goal like me, especially if you're considering doing this full time. The bonus will change your day. Absolutely. There's some days where I've been out for my full 9 hours, and I'm still not quite there. I'm almost at 150, and I have one more order to go, but I really want to go home. Well, it doesn't matter. I got to do that one last order. And then there's certain days with the bonus, like I was talking about before, is where, hey, there's a $5 bonus. So now, at my 3-4 hour mark, I'm already at like $80. And that is a game changer. Especially, and also for people that are doing this part-time, is because say you want to go out and make $50, $60 a day, that is so attainable. As long as DoorDash is pretty busy in your area, you should have no issues doing that. And I kind of talked about it before, but I really want to dive into the pros and cons, because there are cons to this gig. I call it a gig. Is where your pros, we'll go over the pros first. Your pros are, you are your own boss. You make your own schedule. So if someone's got a family gathering or a party or something, or you even want to meet up with a friend you haven't seen in a while, look at that. You're completely open. You can make more the night before and go the next day. So it's really flexible and it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity. On the con side of that one is every mile you drive, all the gas you use, everything, it is a lot of gas. Personally, my goal is to have $150 a day. I just want to let you know I spend about $90 in gas a week, and it's just business expenses. And then there's also a pro to that, is because you're not taxed on DoorDash, you need to deduct things. So the amount of time I drive, the amount of miles I drive are nuts, right? So I'm driving a lot of miles, but that's all a deductible that I can take out of my taxes at the end of the year. So that actually is a pro and a con to me, because you're driving a lot, yes, you're putting wear and tear on your car, but at the end of the year, in the year you made so much money that you should have savings so that tax season comes and you can pay your taxes. Also, you can deduct all the miles you just drove and any, repairs and anything like that. So, but like I said, it's very flexible. You can literally make your own schedule. You want to take a Tuesday off, you want to take a Wednesday off, you want to take a Monday off. You can take any day you want, and that's awesome. Obviously, you want to kind of plan around your market and kind of see hey, Tuesdays in my area aren't that busy, so I try to take Tuesdays off. Sometimes I take Mondays, but Tuesdays are really dead. And so I know, hey, it would be smart for me to take Tuesday because it's not that busy, right? And it's not always consistent. Some Tuesdays are really popping. Some Tuesdays I get a lot of orders and I make a lot of money. But what I'm trying to say is you are, like I said, you're your own boss and you can create your own schedule. So flexibility is definitely a pro. And that con I was talking about, yes, you do have to, do taxes at the end of the year. You might owe money, but that's okay. You have to be smart about how you drive. Like I said, I track all my mileage. I write down everything. I keep all my receipts for my car repairs, and you should too, because that's going to save you a lot of money at the end of the year. A big thing that like I always try to think about, and you should too, especially if you're deciding to do this full time, is not every day is amazing. You're going to have some days that suck, and you took your day off already and the day sucks, but you have to kind of persevere through the day, because the bad days and the good days will equal themselves out, trust me. You'll have bad days and you'll have good days, but ultimately you should hit your goal. If you're determined enough, you should definitely hit your goal. And then that's a really important point I wanted to make is, if you're out there and it's dead and it's not you already took your day off, don't get discouraged, because you can make it up throughout the week. There's lots of opportunities. They throw a lot of challenges out. Like sometimes they throw, like in my area, they throw a $10 snack challenge, which what that means is if you do 4 deliveries in, I think it's a span of like 2.5, 3 hours, which is very easy. You can definitely do that. They'll give you $10. They'll just give you $10. Like I said, also like I said before, is with the bonus incentive is those days where there's bonus, you're going to make a lot more money. So don't worry. That's what I really want to say is, don't worry if your day is super dead. Get back up and talk yourself up, and you can do it. Kind of my last couple points, what I wanted to, kind of say to you guys is, one, just know your market. And this is huge, because, I thought I knew my area really well, and there's new things I'm learning about my whole area where I dash every single day. So I didn't do this, but I would say this is such good advice that I'm going to give you guys that will make you way better than everybody else out there, because right now, with what's happening in the world, we're having so many people do this as their full-time income. So you kind of have to fight for that, right? Well, anyways, my point is, go out. I don't care if you're with your wife, your kids, whoever, right? Your girlfriend, I don't care. Go out in your car and just chill with them and drive around your area for like 2-3 hours. Learn the roads. Learn where all the restaurants are. Learn, because I know Doordash gives you hotspots, but learn your own. Learn your own places to sit. Maybe you don't get orders at Wendy's, or maybe you don't get orders at McDonald's, but you get orders at Chipotle, you get orders at Buffalo Wild Wings. Then you kind of learn to sit there, right? Pull up on your phone, actually. The Maps application, doesn't matter if it's Android or Apple. Pull it up and filter for restaurants, and just look where all the restaurants are. Because then you kind of can create your own hotspots, and you can kind of be like, okay, well, if I sit here, I'm actually closer to everything than where Doordash wants me to go. Because if Doordash wants you to go to Wendy's and you're only close to Wendy's and no other restaurants, well, if they get a ping, if they get an order from another restaurant, you have to travel a long ways. So kind of learn your market, drive around, and it will help you so much. I promise you guys. That is one of the biggest things, is just learn. And you're going to learn out there too. When you get out there and you start delivering, you're going to learn roads. You're going to learn faster ways to get to places. You're going to learn where all the restaurants that pop off on Doordash are going to be. So that's a big, big, big thing I want to let you guys know. The last kind of point I want to make is, and the most important thing, is just have fun. Because this is no regular job, right? There's no other job, well, maybe there is, but none that I've heard of, where you can take your wife, your kids with you. You can make your own schedule, be your own boss. It's amazing. But you have to work for it. You have to work hard. And I've learned that over the last couple months. So my last piece of advice to you guys is, just have fun out there. Be yourself. Be nice to the customers, because that's what's going to get you the good ratings. Text your customers when things go wrong, because that's a big thing that a lot of DoorDashers do. And it really makes me kind of sick. Is like, if you're waiting longer than the estimated time to wait, why not text the customer and tell them, hey, I'm still waiting here. Your food's coming. I'm still going to deliver your food, right? Stuff like that. But like I said, just have fun out there. And I hope to see more of you guys on the road. And I'm going to put my invite code down in the description. So if you guys want to sign up, I would really appreciate if you signed up using my code. But other than that, it's a great way to make income, especially in 2020 when all this stuff's going on. Just be safe out there and have fun.